What's going on, family? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the concept of goal setting, but really from a different perspective than would otherwise usually be talked about as far as picking a goal and going straight for that goal. Now, if you're new to my channel, my name is Zach, and here I share concepts in spiritual development, personal development, emotionally, mentally, physically, really with the intention of sharing knowledge and my own experiences that have helped me to develop, and I hope will help you as well. So I am a huge proponent of goal setting. I think that setting a goal and following that challenge all the way to the end, experiencing the various trials and tribulations that come along with pursuing that goal, overall is really one of the best processes that you can use to intentionally improve your life. As a quick side note, if you guys are interested in learning about my personal process for setting goals and then following them to completion, drop a comment and I will consider making a video about this in the future. I'm just here to help you guys out as best I can, and so if that's something that would be helpful, let me know. Now, with the consideration that setting goals and following them to completion is one of the best processes that you can use to improve your life, I want to talk about one of the biggest follies that I see with people that I'm coaching when it comes to setting goals and then trying to resonate with that goal as you follow it all the way to completion. I'm a huge fan of the concept of turning obstacles into opportunities, and really this is one of the most important things that you can know about when it comes to mastering this process. So real quick, you guys, I want to show you this. This is essentially the levels of consciousness chart created by David Hawkins, and he wrote books like Letting Go and Power versus Force. Now, these are two incredibly excellent books on controlling your emotions in order to have more autonomy over your reality. But the point of showing you this is really to get you to consider how emotion works. If you're familiar with Abraham Hicks, Abraham calls this the emotional guidance system, really. So any emotions that you're experiencing, that is your emotional guidance system. Let's take an example of shame or guilt down here, right? You can see down in this section, they label it force, and you can see emotions like pride, anger, desire, fear progressively going down on this kind of numeric scale that David Hawkins has essentially created to associate with emotions and feelings. Now, let's take the example of shame or guilt. And for the vast majority of people, experiencing shame is a direct result of doing something shameful, or reflecting on a memory in which you were experiencing shame, right? Now, boom, here you have it, right? You're experiencing it again as you reflect on that memory and connect with that. Well, if we look at this through Abraham's lens, now the quote-unquote negative emotions are simply just our guidance system, right? It's indicating that we are not where we want to be, and by using this chart, we can focus on growing rather than just reacting, for example, right? Now, if you look at this, the idea here is that you can leverage the chart, and the scales of consciousness are going to show you how to get where you want to go. So say, for example, like we said, you're experiencing, shame all the way here at the bottom, right? The feeling that comes with that shame is humiliation, right? And they talk about some processes in life views, the life view being miserable, the process being elimination of self, essentially, right? To hide, to disappear, to not be perceived, as a lot of people say. What you can do is understand that, you are not just the product, right? You are actually the creator. And so you can use this scale to kind of rise up. So if you're experiencing shame, you can try to move that into guilt and leverage a process like, blaming yourself, blaming other people. And you might say, well, that's still a very negative emotion, but based on this chart, it's actually going up. And, you can go up to apathy, right? To have less of a sense of humiliation and just be caught in despair, moving all the way up to anger, right? You can have a higher vibration where you choose violence, force essentially to, change the situation. And it might still seem very negative, but you're actually going up and up the scale to points when you can use, courage with affirmation. You can have trust in the outcome that, things will become better. That trust is going to lead to a sense of willingness to take on life, optimism that leads ultimately to things like acceptance, forgiving the people that have done you wrong, the situation that might seem out of your control, all these things up and up and up. Now, what's the point of this, right? What I want to do is introduce another concept as it pertains to all of this energy stuff, which is really just that you are already perfect, right? You are naturally a high energy, high vibrational being. Now, just a quick PSA, this is 100% my belief system, right? That really all things are energy, and you started out as a light energy being and you chose to come to this physical reality to experience the sensory experience. And all that mumbo jumbo just to say that you are inherently vibrating at the highest level. Just like how on Earth, gravity is going to naturally bring you back down down to the Earth's surface. In terms of emotional energy, always going to naturally float back up as you let go, release, and start to turn your attention away from disempowering sensory information. So what does this have to do with getting closer to your goals? Well, if we take what you understand so far about already being in alignment with your higher desires, your thoughts, feelings, and even your actions are already in alignment with the desired outcome that you have. It's the diversion from your path that's going to trip you up. It's the fears, doubts, and inability to take confident action that's going to throw you off and really bring you down on that scale of consciousness that we talked about earlier. So as it pertains to reaching goals, it's these negative factors, right? This old programming that we have to tackle in order to naturally rise to the state of consciousness that's in alignment with our goals. Now, these can be external circumstances and occurrences that are, for all intents and purposes, out of our control. Though more often than not, they're going to be consistent elements of our identity, who we believe ourselves to be, how we believe the world to be, who we believe other people to be inherently. So with this in mind, let's consider examples of things that we could do to release, just let go in order to flow to our goal. Let's pick a relatively straightforward goal for this example. Say you want to have 2 meals prepared for every day of the week through meal prep. Ideally, you'd cook once a week for 2 hours, making sure that you have 2 meals prepared for every single day of the week. Then perhaps you would only need to take the time to cook 1 meal per day, so you already have those other 2 meals ready. Now, just listening to this, you probably can understand the implications. Way less time required to cook, way less time required to clean, all of that extra time that you then have for yourself, and you can do pretty much whatever you want during the day. Maybe you spend some more time having fun or being more productive, whatever you want. And there's plenty of other implications as well. Like maybe you know it's gonna be a lot easier for you to meet certain macronutrient needs to hit those gains that you want or lose that weight that you wanna lose. So pretty solid goal, right? Well, as you take this goal on and you start to follow that challenge down the rabbit hole, all of the limiting factors are going to start to present themselves to you. Maybe you start to notice that feeling day after day of, man, I just haven't done this yet, and that anxiety is creeping in. Maybe you start to wonder if your schedule is even going to make it feasible for you to meal prep like this. After all, you're so busy, aren't you? You start thinking about how you're going to have to come up with all the recipes, go shop for the groceries, buy the Tupperware. Maybe you're going to mess one of the recipes up, and now you've screwed up not only one meal, but all of those meals that you were going to batch for the rest of the week. Well, you're being held back by a story, right? By a forecast of things that haven't actually happened yet. So here's the thing. You could let go of just sitting in that state of anxiety. You could get up and make a plan, and there goes the fear. You could let go of the fear that you just don't have time and acknowledge that by meal prepping, you're gonna have a lot more time, right? It's gonna create a lot of space in your schedule. Let's be honest, you know the recipes, or at least you could use Google and find some. When it comes to buying the groceries, the investment in the groceries and really the investment in the Tupperware is significantly less than the cost of remaining in that state of mediocrity and being unfulfilled. Now, my intention here is not to say that this stuff doesn't take work, and especially when we start to pursue bigger internal goals like releasing from our sense of negative self-talk, this reconditioning of your sense of self-acceptance is gonna feel a lot less like letting go and a lot more like ripping tape off of an old wound or something. That said, like everything, it takes practice, and it's gonna get a lot easier the more consistent that you do it. You'll move from a place of really having to challenge your inner dialogue and much more into alignment with noticing, acknowledging, setting strong intentions, and then simply flowing to your goal. I promise it will get that easy. But that's why I believe setting strong goals starts with the ability to notice what you are no longer willing to accept. Acknowledge the things that simply cannot remain in your life as you are trying to move forward towards a better sense of self, and consciously set the intention to reject those things, to move beyond them, to release them from your life. Now, I know this stuff can be relatively complicated. If you'd like some help with this stuff, there's a link below that you can click to book a free coaching session. The Vegan Strong Fit program is a 6-month process where I personally walk you step by step to shifting into your best state of being, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, as well as finding success in things like your business and your personal relationships. Now, I say all this because this is a full life transformation, and so this invitation is really only open to those of you that are committed to this transformation process and ready to step into that state of fulfillment. For now though, apply this process of acknowledging the things that you're ready to let go of, and your life will massively improve on its own. So, I hope this video was helpful, my friends. Drop a like, subscribe to my channel, hit that little notification bell for more. Let me know what kind of content you want to see. Drop a comment, and I'm always trying to come up with ideas to make stuff that is valuable for you guys, so let me know. But until next time, much love, peace, namaste, talk to you later.